In today's video, I'm going to go over what I've learned after taking around 1,500 plus sales calls and around 500 sales calls just as of last year. So a lot of the questions I get asked are, how can I increase my close rate? What do you do in your sales calls? So today I'm going to be breaking down for you what I've learned to date, how I keep around a 15% conversion rate, and we're going to walk you through that entire process. So let's get into the video. What's going on, boys? Another short video here providing some value for you guys as far as what I've learned after taking around 500 sales calls in 2023, just looking at the statistics here. And I think probably over around 1,500 in my entire lifetime of taking sales calls, which has been about 3 years and 3 months of running this agency. So the main takeaway from this is that I get a lot of DMs constantly about how can I get better at sales, or can you send me your discovery call slideshow? How can I increase my conversion rate? What are your steps when you go through the sales process? So in general, I'm going to walk you through kind of my sales process, what I've learned, what I've changed throughout the years. So we'll dive into kind of the first part of just what I'm doing throughout the actual sales call. So this part to me is not anything out of the ordinary. Everyone's doing the exact same shit. You build rapport at the start, you ask them questions, you try and find their pain points. You're trying to see, what you're going to really hit on in the call, because what, they're struggling with right now and what they need changed. So you're trying to just build that rapport, ask them some questions. Then I dive into just showing what we've done, case studies, different stuff like that. Then I kind of start explaining the service, what we can do for them, and then kind of go through the packages, the pricing and stuff like that. So the actual layout of what I'm going through in the call is nothing special. It's basically what every other person does. Now, what I struggled with in the very, very beginning, and even in 2023, I just recently started changing this after I stumbled upon Hunter C. Roy, his channel. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but shout out to him because his videos were fucking game changing. So I stumbled across one of his sales calls, and this is the first time someone's ever actually resonated with me, or I resonated with someone when it came to sales. Because a lot of the people, like, not any hate to these people, but Tariq, I don't know if you guys have watched him. He reviewed one of my sales calls, and a lot of other people, I just can't think of their names. I'm thinking of Tariq because he reviewed one of mine. But they're more of the pushy salesmen. They got that, that demeanor to them. They're, excited, and they're trying to push. They're more of just pushy individuals in the calls, which is fine. There's all different types of salespeople, and that stuff works for certain products and works for certain people that can do that. I'm not that guy. I'm more of laid back. I'm just there to have a conversation with them. I don't really even feel like I'm in a sales call. They probably don't even feel like they're in a sales call. I'm just the laid back, introverted sales guy. That's the kind of approach that I have, just because that's actually genuinely who I am. I don't like to feel like I'm trying to sell someone. I'm just, pitching them my service that I know works, and that's basically it. So this Hunter guy, he's the exact same. He's just kind of like the shy, nervous, introverted salesperson. That's sort of his character in the calls, but it's probably not a character. It's probably just actually who he is as well. And I feel like for the most part, I don't know, comment down below if you take sales calls, if you're more of the introverted, nice sales guy, or if you're kind of excited, pushing for the close, and you're more pushy essentially. So regardless, that's the kind of sales guy I am, the nice guy salesman, the introverted person. So the main problem that I came across was at the end of every call, it was very, very difficult for me to push for a close or to hit them with rebuttals, because I never felt comfortable doing it, and I never really wanted to. Because if I put myself in their position, I would genuinely want to think about it, or want to talk to my wife, or crunch numbers, whatever that looks like. So it became a lot of just following up after every single call. There's never ever one call closes, or like very, very, very rarely, because the agenda was never set straight. So I'd always get hit with rebuttals at the end of the call. I'd never be able to, push for the close. I would just be following up with people every single call. You knew you're never going to close someone in the call. That was basically how I was taking the sales calls. So until I watched one of these Hunter guys videos on one of his sales calls, and he sets the agenda straight from the start of the call. So this is absolute dropping sauce right here with this line. As far as if you're taking sales calls right now, start implementing this stuff. This exact line at the start of the call, it's crazy. It's been working wonders for me. So what I say before I even go into the call, like start pitching the services, like right after I build rapport with them, I ask them questions, and I say, okay, listen, Johnny, so before I share my screen, go over services or strategies, what is that we do for the current agents and teams we're working with, I'm going to ask you just for one favor, and one favor only throughout this entire call. And that's at the end of this call, you just either give me a straight up hell no or hell yes. You need to crunch some numbers or talk with your grandma. Those are just very, very polite ways of telling me no. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. So if it's not a good fit for you and it doesn't make sense whatsoever financially or the service, just tell me hell no. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I don't care. If it does make sense, well then tell me a hell yes, and we'll get the ball rolling. So Does that make sense with you? Are you good with that? Well, 95% of the time they say yes, and you jump into the call. And now the agenda is set straight right from the start of the call. So now when the end of the call comes, they know that they can't say, oh yeah, I just want to think about it or talk to my wife or crunch some numbers, because realistically, those are all BS responses. You don't need to crunch numbers. The numbers are right in front of you. I can crunch them in 10 seconds. I've crunched them 1,000 times before. So now they can't say any of that stuff. They actually have to hit you with the questions that they want to ask you, because they want to do it or they don't want to do it. You'll find out very, very quickly. So this has resulted in way better sales calls, way more one call closes, and it's been game changing. And that's something that I can do because I don't feel like I'm being pushy. I'm just setting the agenda straight from the start of this call where, hey, listen, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. Give me a hell yes or hell no if it makes sense. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I don't care. So that's been actually game changing for me. So once again, shout out to that Hunter guy, because that's absolutely awesome. The sales calls have gotten much, much better. So just like everyone else, I'm still learning. I'm still constantly implementing new things. Obviously, after around 3.5 years of taking sales calls, I got most of the stuff pretty dialed in, like my entire slideshow. What I used to do in the very beginning stages was when I would get asked a question or something that wasn't on my slide that I should have had on there, I'd always add to it. If I was consistently getting asked the same thing because I wasn't going over it, I would add it into the slideshow. So then eventually now when I go through my entire 35-minute discovery call, people rarely have questions at the end because I go over all the main points very, very well, clear, concise, and it's very simple. But yeah, I figured I want to provide that value, that same value that Hunter did for all of his subscribers for you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.